Hello and a warm welcome to NTA Nationwide. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Now, staying true to one's values and political doctrine for 30 years in the face of opposing views, interest and manipulation is tricky. In fact, it takes a special personality with a large heart who can accommodate all. These attributes define Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and in this report, Michael Olaleye chronicles his journey to the lofty heights as the 7th democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The kingmaker has finally become king in what could be described as painstakingly waiting for the right time. Behind the success are 30 solid years dedicated to lifting others up.
I believe that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is God sent to Nigeria to start rebuilding this country once again, to bring this country back to where it was over 30 years ago.
It is a surgeon relentlessly built around the people, based on the revolutionary role Asiwaju Bola Tinubu played in pioneering a robust transport system, upscaling healthcare delivery strategies to the tertiary level, expanded the tax nets, while equally improving the internally generated revenue as the governor of Lagos.
Our mass transit program is on course. The metro line is being discussed already. We have attracted the interest of World Bank once again.
Being the last man standing when other governors in the Southwest tasted defeat in 2003 helped to increase his popularity among Nigerians who were enchanted by his well-detailed master plan aimed at restructuring the Lagos metropolis to be the 5th single largest economy in Africa.
He's always getting results. I have seen him as a master of the game. He knows politics to the end. And in fact, the amazing thing is, there's nobody that gets to him with any problem that won't get a solution, unless you cannot see him.
We've seen him as somebody who is a strategist, somebody who believes in good things of life, and I'm sure he will turn Nigeria around.
Asiwaju has not only shown interest in the successive arrangement of Lagos, but guarded it jealously in ensuring adherence to developmental plan, and it played a key role when opportunity to dislodge the People's Democratic Party, PDP, came calling in 2015.
Our logo is a broom, bunched together. United Nigeria focuses against terrorism, against corruption, and promotes economic revival of the country.
Against all odds, the Jagaban is now the 7th democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and it is expected that he will apply his massive political influence, connections, and experience with world-renowned organizations like Mobi Oil and GT Service Corporation to actualize the promise of a renewed hope. In Lagos, Michael.
Now, earlier today, Nigerians witnessed the inauguration of the 7th democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And joining me in the studio to look at, matters arising is Professor Sadiq Abba of the Department of Political Science, University of Abuja. Prof, it's good to have you join us on Nationwide today.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, now with the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria, what should be the president's immediate priorities?
First and foremost, let me join millions of Nigeria in congratulating ourselves in achieving transitions to transitional government in the last 20 years, both vertically and horizontally. We have seen the campaigns are over. We have seen promises and upon promises. Today, the game has ended at the Eagles Fire. Now, campaigns are over.
Okay, thank you, Prof. We seem to be having problems with your audio, dear, but let's go to our Lagos Network Center, for more stories on Nationwide.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reiterated commitment to redouble efforts to build a Lagos that is not only a commercial nerve center, but also a hub for innovation, culture, and sustainable development. Musoliat reports that the governor, who had earlier inspected a guard of honor at the inauguration ceremony, met the pledge after taking an oath of office for a second term at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos.
And bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As the Governor of Lagos State, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability. I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Lagos State. So help me God.
Oath of office as the 15th Executive Governor of Lagos State. And inauguration of President of Nigeria and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for a second term in office means double celebration for residents of Lagos State. Adeni Taiwo reports that in its unique way of marking days, the state stood still for the celebration. Jubilant residents clad in different ashwebi took over the Tafawa Balewa Square and Onikon axis of the Lagos Island for the celebration.
Lagos has always occupied a special place in the political development and leadership of Nigeria. So on a day like this, when one of their own takes the saddle as the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is a joyous occasion for them. A clear weather after a light shower in the morning is considered by many as a good omen. Lagosians are here at the Tafawa Balewa Square, venue of the inauguration ceremony for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's second term in office. And I tell you, the mood here is good.
It is a call for show once again as jubilant residents clad in different ashwebi took over the Tafawa Balewa Square and Onikon axis of the Lagos Island for the inauguration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for a second term in office. All this under the watchful eyes of security men and traffic management officials who were out in large numbers to ensure safety and order. Ibrahim Hussein was on his way to join in the celebration when I met him. Like many other happy residents of the state, he had waited with subdued excitement to see the day, and neither the downpour or traffic would stop him.
From election to this period is what we have all waited for. So whatever it takes for us to get here today, we are ready to sacrifice for it, because it's also to celebrate democracy for Nigeria, and it's also to celebrate the inauguration for the second term of the governor.
While a number of dignitaries are in Abuja to witness the inauguration firsthand, many other residents settled for their TV at home to catch details of the ceremony live. The Third Mainland Bridge and other major roads in the metropolis also caught a breather with less vehicular and human traffic around other parts of the state. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, immediately after the handing over ceremony in Abuja, former Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has arrived in Lagos. Let's join Adeni Taiwo again at the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos for an update. Hello, Adeni.
It may take a lot of getting used to describing Professor Yemi Osinbajo as a former vice president. But that is who he is now, hours after handing over power in Abuja.
His plane touched down at the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. And on hand to receive him are some of his associates, aides, and well-wishers. A short Thanksgiving service held at the waiting lounge of the presidential wing saw the immediate former vice president thanking God and Nigerians for the opportunity to serve the country.
He stays committed to the growth and the development of Nigeria. He believes clearly that Nigeria will succeed, Nigeria must succeed, and is continuing to remain an active collaborator even with this government.
From the presidential wing of the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, it's been Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos. It's now back to Ifoma in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
You're welcome back. Nasarawa State's Governor Abdullahi Sule has been sworn in for a second term in office in a colorful ceremony in Lafia, the state's capital. Aliyu Tijani reports that he promised to be governor of all.
It's another historic moment for the people of Nasarawa State as people from all walks of life converge on Lafia Square to witness the inauguration of Abdullahi Sule as the re-elected governor of the state. Hopes are high as the people of the state celebrate the epoch-making event while Governor Abdullahi Sule and the state deputy governor take oath of office.
With inauguration rituals completed, Abdullahi Sule, 7th democratically elected governor of Nasarawa State, will serve another 4-year term.
In his inaugural speech for his second term in office, Governor Abdullahi Sule thanked the people of the state for giving him another mandate, which he assures will not let them down. With the elections now over, the governor appeals to the people of the state to unite as he promises to be a governor for all, irrespective of party, religion, or ethnic affiliation. He says in the last 4 years, his administration has done a lot in the areas of infrastructure, attracting investment, among other programs aimed at improving the economy.
I appeal to all men and women of goodwill to join us to move Nasarawa State to a new level of development and progress. Nasarawa State remains the only state we can call ours. It is for us to build it, nurture it, and protect it towards achieving the collective prosperity of our dream. No citizen is exempted from this responsibility as we look forward to a great future.
Governor Sule pledges to consolidate on the gains recorded so far in order to meet the yearnings of the people. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
And I'm still talking about the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have with me, still in the studio, Professor Sadiq Abba of the Department of Political Science, University of Abuja. Prof, I had earlier asked you what should be the President's immediate priorities.
Thank you very much. I think the first and most important priority for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to first put his team on ground, pick up his cabinet, his special advisors, senior special advisors, etc., etc. As Nigerians expect him to hit the ground running based on his experiences and competences and capacities as a result of his own historical development, both as a politician as well as a private sector person, there are a lot of expectations. But the first thing first is that we want Mr. President to give Nigeria a team that is nationalistic in outlook, tinged with a lot of capacities and competencies, a team that has what it takes to add value to the existing national challenges, national gaps and limitations that are identified, a cabinet that on its own can drive processes and procedures of governance, a cabinet that without being prompted upon by Mr. President outside the purview of presidential eyes will be able to now take decisions or indecisions in the interest of Nigeria. So these are some of the expectations of Nigerians. And most importantly, we are expecting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to create
an enabling environment and a mechanism on ground to mainstream national interest, national unity, and national integrations as a first and foremost priority of his government. So these are some of the expectations of Nigerians. And it is quite assuring when you listen to his inaugural speech today. He was able to capture all these items that I have outlined in his speech. And our prayers is that the Lord that he worshipped, the Allah that he worshipped, will be able to now guide him. And well, let me sign a warning here. See, the mistake that Nigerians have been making historically is that they think or they believe, or it is in their own calculations, that it is only the president or the ministers or the governor that can do things. No. Okay. We also have a role to play as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What are our expectations as citizens? Because it takes two to carry national development and national prosperity, the leadership and the followership. Are Nigerians willing and ready to support voluntarily, willingly, consciously, deliberately, without being forced, without any interest attached, to support the government of the day in order to achieve all these lofty objectives? These are some of the questions we should ask ourselves as citizens of this great country.
Okay, still talking about the inaugural speech, the president, extended an olive branch to Nigerians. So what is your take on that?
It's part of the process of national integrations and engendering national unity. As far as Mr. President is concerned, it has been part and parcel of his own life. He has built a lot of bridges. He was able to at least mentor a lot of Nigerians across all the 6 geopolitical zones. He was able to accommodate Nigerians from all the 6 geopolitical zones. He is a team player. He is a model, a role model for Nigerians, and also a clearing house of political and democratic crisis and conflicts in Nigeria. So because of that capacity, we are expecting him to unify Nigeria. That's why I say initially that the first priority is to maintain the Nigerian project, is to empower the Nigerian project, is to solidify the Nigerian project, is to make sure that there is Nigeria and there are Nigerians who believe in Nigeria. So these are some of the priorities that he must put in place. And it can only be so based on the caliber of people that he identified and appointed in his own cabinet, because this is very central.
Now, what should guide the president's choice in the selection of the cabinet?
You see, the first thing is that he should do away with political patronage. That's the first guide. The first criteria. He should avoid the applications of political patronage at its highest level. Yes, APC brought him to power as a party. He used APC as a platform. He used his campaign team. Yes, he should patronize them. But there's a caveat there. He should also tinker this particular patronage with capacity and competencies of these particular individuals. So virtually, whosoever he is going to appoint must first and foremost have the capacity and the ability to carry that particular responsibility. And two also, that particular individual or group of individuals should equally have that particular value that in them without being excessively supervised. Because excessive supervision is what is lacking in Nigeria and what is killing Nigeria at the same time. It's a double-edged sword. So whoever Bola Ahmed Tinubu is appointing must have that value in him or in her on his own merit, will be able to add value to the government and assist Bola Ahmed Tinubu in providing the much needed national welfare, national well-being, and national prosperity that informed initially the reason why he was even voted or elected into power.
Okay, now the electoral system seems to be improving by the day or by every phase of every election in recent time. Is there anything that needs to be done, to improve on the last elections?
There are 2 or maximum 3 things that needs to be improved as far as Nigerian elections are concerned. Number 1, that the level of political education, political information, and political mobilization is still very low in Nigeria. If you look at the gap between the total number of voters registered in Nigeria and the total number of voters that voted in your elections are wide apart. So government is spending huge amount of resources in mobilizing Nigerians to vote. In maybe 90, the last, I had what, about 90, is it 92 or 98 million Nigerians voted, registered to vote. But look at the turnout of voters on election day. It was very, very low. It's abysmally low. So there is a need to improve on that. That's number one. Number two, Nigerians' political parties are yet to become institutionalized. Buhari tried his best. Now, Tinubu is more of a politician than, or Democrat than Buhari, because he has been there since the 1990s. So he should be able to build on the little achievements of Buhari in democratizing the Nigerian political party systems. That's another thing. Number three, also, the Nigerian citizens should see elections not as a one-off activity. They should see the elections as a platform through which leaders are selected and elected, as the case may be, either vertically or horizontally. So virtually, these are the three areas at least this government should now improve upon. And once the Nigerian citizens agree on their own that, look, we are going to be part and parcel of party system, we are going to be part and parcel of the electoral processes, and we are going to elect leaders, not rulers. Leaders that have the capacity to add value to our lives, then at least we'll begin to celebrate and clap with two hands that our democracy has come to stay.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Sadiq Abba, Department of Political Science, University of Abuja. It's been a pleasure having you on Nationwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.
Now, midnight fireworks and concerts to usher in President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration held in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf witnessed the event and now reports.
The Millennium Tower in Abuja is venue of these fireworks, the first ever in the history of presidential inauguration activities. It's an initiative worthwhile according to many people here.
We believe strongly that everybody should participate in this government. We believe strongly that this government can solve a larger percentage of our problems. This is a government of national unity. This is a government of national competence. This is a government of the youths, of the old, of the medium, of the gender, of the Muslims, of the Christians, of every Nigerian.
The fireworks were followed by a concert. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Let's now bring you more on inauguration from states. Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has been sworn in for a second term in office. Correspondent Ayomiku Ajibola reports that the governor promised to consolidate on previous achievements for a better state.
The oath of office and oath of allegiance administered on Seyi Makinde and his deputy, Bayo Lawal, by the Chief Judge of Oyo State, Iyabode Yerima, signified the commencement of his second term in office as the executive governor of Oyo State. While promising to do more for Oyo residents in his second term, Governor Seyi Makinde said his administration has been running an inclusive government focused on building infrastructure that targets economic growth. He added that projects embarked upon by his administration deliberately cut across all zones of the state, while having direct impact on all stratas of the society. It will be recalled that Governor Seyi Makinde was declared winner on March 19th of the March 18th governorship election by the Independent National Electoral Commission in Ibadan. Ayoniku Ajibola, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Dauda Lawal of the People's Democratic Party has been sworn in as the new governor of Zamfara State, with high expectations from the electorate that he will work diligently to effectively deliver on his mandate. Jamilu Ibrahim reports that the event, widely described as unique, was well attended by dignitaries from within the state and beyond.
The swearing-in of the fifth governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Dauda Lawal, and his deputy Malam Mani Mumuni has ushered in the new democratically elected government in the state with high expectations from the people who came from far and near to witness the historic event.
It's a wonderful change in Zamfara State, and we thank God for what he has done to the people of Zamfara State and at large the PDP.
The only thing is to make sure that he satisfies the people.
I hope and I pray that Dauda will live up to expectations.
The event has been widely described as a dawn of a new era in Zamfara State, as well as a distinctive in many ways.
This is the only time and the first time that PDP won an election.
We have the confidence that the Governor, Dr. Dauda Lawal, with his team, will do a very wonderful job for the state, which eventually everybody will be happy and glad.
He's going to deliver, and he will be there to help, to give our own contribution to make sure that he rescue Zamfara, inshallah.
The newly sworn-in governor, who says he is not oblivious of the daunting task ahead, solicited for support and prayers from the people of the state and beyond for him to effectively deliver on his mandate.
My government will recognize the role and responsibility of the federal government and will work very closely to enhance our internal security.
Well, the challenges are obviously enormous and the expectations very high. But a cross-section of the respondents expressed optimism that the new governor will live up to expectations. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And the people of Ogun State defied the heavy rains in Abeokuta to witness the historic second-term inauguration of Governor Dapo Abiodun and his deputy, Noimot Salako Oyedele. Lekon Agbonde reports.
The downpour notwithstanding, the colorful and epoch-making inauguration ceremony held smoothly at the main bowl of the MKO Abiola International Stadium, Abeokuta. The oaths of office and allegiance were administered by the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Justice Mosumola Dikpeolu, first on the Deputy Governor, Noimot Salako Oyedele, before the Governor, Dapo Abiodun, took his oath of office.
Protect and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
The Governor inspected the guard of honor. In his inauguration speech, Governor Dapo Abiodun reassures the people of Ogun State of his administration's resolve to build on the achievements of his first term, wrapped in the Shaya mantra of the state development agenda on the premise of infrastructural, social welfare, youth, and agricultural development.
As we are determined to continue to work together to build the Ogun State of our collective dream. Over the next 4 years, this administration will move on speedily to deliver on all the dividends of democracy to our people. The last 4 years will lay the foundation for our shared prosperity. We have covered a lot of ground.
The teeming populace that trooped out to witness the inauguration ceremony are optimistic of a more impactful governance in Ogun State. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Now, Sokoto Network Center is next on Nationwide. Sadia is our guide. Hello, Sadia.
Foma, and welcome to Sokoto. Dr. Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto of APC has been sworn in as the 6th democratically elected governor of Sokoto State. Dr. Ahmed Aliyu took the oath of office administered by State Chief Judge Justice Saidu Muhammad Sifawa at Giginya Memorial Stadium, Sokoto. Zainab Sayyid Abdel Nasser reports.
Giginya Memorial Stadium, Sokoto is witnessing a historic moment as APC supporters and well-wishers of Sokoto State gathered to witness the swearing-in ceremony and official inauguration of a new governor, Dr. Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto. Dr. Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto and his deputy Idris Muhammad Gobir took the oath of office after inspecting an eye-catching parade by the Nigerian police. In his acceptance speech, Dr. Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto, who described his victory as the will of Allah, restated his promise to actualize his 9-point agenda in accordance with the available resources. He promised to work hand in hand with the legislature and the judiciary to move the state forward. He spoke on several areas, among which is security and poverty eradication to be given utmost priority, as healthcare and environmental sanitation will also get government's attention. Dr. Ahmed Aliyu promised to be a leader to be proud of. He assured civil servants, retirees and government NDAs will be accorded their dues. He called on the opposition parties to join hands to move the state forward. Dignitaries from across Nigeria and Niger Republic, including the Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar, witnessed the ceremony. In Sokoto, Zainab Saidu Abdel Nasir, NTA News.
Mohammed Nasir Idris of All Progressive Congress APC has been sworn in as the new Kebbi State Governor. Correspondent Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the governor pledged to operate a people's-oriented administration for the development of the state.
That was the acting Chief Judge of the state, Justice Umar Abubakar, administering the oath of office to the governor and his deputy. The ceremony was attended by technocrats, politicians, and members of the public who were there to witness another milestone of democratic dispensation in Kebbi State. The new Kebbi State Governor Nasiru Idris reminded the gathering that political campaigns are over and it is time for governance and development to take place. He promised to operate government that will embrace public interest.
This administration will be constituted with the best hands who have noble and objective ideas and who have the energy and patriotism to add value to governance.
The immediate past Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu described the release of all FGC Birni Yauri abducted schoolgirls as a good omen to begin the new administration. He appealed to the people to support the new administration.
I couldn't have had a better success, and I pray that as we hand over the transition documents to him, that we show him all that we did in our modest efforts.
The event was conducted under a peaceful environment. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And that's it from this end. More news on Nationwide with Ifoma right after this break. Do stay.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now, a statement from the Director Communications Head of Service indicates that Ambassador Kunle Adeleke has been appointed as the State Chief of Protocol to the President. Dele Alake, Presidential Spokesman, and Olusegun Dada as the SA Digital Media. The federal government had yesterday, 28 May 2023, approved the appointment of new executive directors for the Nigerian Television Authority. Those appointed to man the 7 directorates of the NTA e.g. Osage, Edo State, Executive Director Engineering, Betsy Ihe Bonike, Anambra State, Executive Director Marketing, Lawar Umar Lalu, Katsina State, Executive Director Programs, Ayo Adewi, Osun State, Executive Director News, Adamo Sambo, Adamawa State, Executive Director Special Duties, Nansel Nimiel, Plateau State, Executive Director Administration and Training, Abdullahi Ismail Ahmed, Kaduna State, Executive Director Finance. The appointees are to serve for an initial 3 years renewable term for another 3 years. The federal government has on Friday approved the renaming of 15 airports after some prominent Nigerians in recognition of their individual contributions to the development of the nation in different sectors. A statement from the ministry indicates that some of the airports renamed include Port Harcourt International Airport, Yola, Ibadan, Benin and Akure International Airports, among others. The federal government also approved the constitution of boards for the agencies, which are mostly institutional representations. The former president therefore considered the requirements in approving the membership and hopes that they will play the necessary roles in furthering the developments of this sector as a new administration takes over. These agencies include Nigeria Meteorological Agency (NIMET), Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Nigerian Airspace Management of Agency, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. The sixth substantive civilian governor of Niger State, Umar Mohammed Bago, has been sworn in alongside his deputy, Yakubu Garba, with a pledge to fully involve the women and youths in his administration. The governor also stated that his administration will consider the development gaps in the state in his inaugural speech. Hassana Musa reports.
The oath of allegiance and office by the sixth civilian governor of Niger State, Umar Mohammed Bago, and his deputy, Yakubu Garba, sealed and upheld their new positions in the state. The oath taking was followed by the inspection of the parade, which is the first official duty of the governor. In his inaugural speech, Governor Umar Mohammed Bago said security, education, science and technology advancement will be given priority, adding that basic amenities will be improved.
I declare before you today, with humility and a deep sense of responsibility, that the confidence reposed in us is not misplaced and we shall not walk irresponsibly. We shall be dutiful, diligent in implementing policies, programs, and projects that will add value to lives of the people.
Governor Umar Mohammed Bago was thereafter formally received at the Niger State Government House in Minna. Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
Open and pro-masses policies and programs are what the new governor of Jigawa State is set to pursue for the socio-economic development of the state. Umar Namadi stated this during his inaugural speech after taking oath of office as the fifth democratically elected governor of Jigawa State. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
Do solemnly swear and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Aminu Kano Triangle, the venue of the governorship inauguration, was full with enthusiastic citizens who trooped in from all parts of Jigawa State to witness yet another historic event in political history of the state. The election of Umar Namadi as governor of Jigawa State was considered by political analysts to have brought a balance of power between the north, the central and the eastern zones of the state. In his inaugural speech, Umar Namadi said he will run an open government that is all-inclusive and centered on welfare of the citizens while consolidating on the achievements recorded by the previous administration. His manifesto captures key development sectors such as agriculture, information communication technology, empowerment, healthcare services, education, environmental sustainability, and the creation of enabling environments for business, among others.
Our victory and the victory of our great party, both at the state and national level elections, is victory for democracy, for progressive, and for the united Jigawa State and the united Nigeria.
Former Governor Muhammadu Badru Abubakar, alongside other former civilian and military governors of the state since its creation in 1999, were also present at the magnificent event. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
We now go over to our Maiduguri Network Center for more on the inauguration across states.
Thank you, Ifoma, and welcome to Maiduguri. Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has taken oath of office and allegiance for the commencement of second term with a call on citizens in the state to unite for greater Borno to reap more dividends of democracy. The inauguration and swearing-in ceremony attracted dignitaries from all walks of life, including presidential delegation from Niger Republic, led by Governor of Difa Province. Mohammed Gwani reports.
Ramat Square, Maiduguri, venue of the inauguration ceremony, was filled to capacity
with dignitaries and other invited guests seated as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. Security operatives were deployed to every location of the venue to maintain law and order.
Do solemnly swear.
The oath of office and allegiance were administered on Governor Bagana Umar Zulum by the State Chief Judge Musanna. The swearing-in was closely followed by inspection of parade by the governor who trailed the gathering. Professor Bagana Umar Zulum, who described himself as happiest person in Borno for the level of peace attained, also highlighted some of the achievements recorded in the last 4 years in all sectors.
In the midst of all that we have achieved, we must recognize that without peace, we could never have executed all these projects. Ladies and gentlemen, our soldiers, police, TSS, paramilitary, and volunteers have made supreme sacrifices.
The governor stressed commitment to build on the gains made to include building and equipping more primary and secondary schools, as well as the recruitment of 5,000 teachers, establish additional health facilities across local government areas, and employ 1,500 health personnel. Part of the plans Governor Zulum has for the state in the second term also include construction and opening up of more roads, closure of IDPs camps across the state, resettlement of more displaced communities, connecting local government areas to national grid, and support for oil exploration in the state, as well as establishment of microfinance bank and ICT centers across 27 local government areas to enhance economic development, among others. Secretary to the State Government, Usman Jiddeshua, highlighted achievements recorded by Governor Zulum's administration in the last 4 years, including close to 800 projects and creation of new agencies to entrench good governance. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Nurturing Nigerian nation's democracy has reached advanced stage with 24 years of unbroken elected leadership at national and state levels. As Borno moves closer to sustainable peace and development, citizens are hopeful that the second tenure of Professor Babagana Umar Zulum as governor will propel the state to a higher level. Kegama Mustafa reports.
May 29th has remained a symbol of sustainable democratic governance in Nigeria since the return of civilian administration in 1999. 24 years on, Nigerians have witnessed 7 transitions with peaceful change of baton.
From every perspective, whether it is resettlement of IDPs in their ancestral homes, whether it is provision of infrastructure.
100% plus. So he definitely needs just to add to him as a human being, where definitely there are some 1-2 things that could be lagging behind. All he needs is just to gear up and increase more conscience to the development of Borno.
Babagana Zulum has done well in his first term in areas of infrastructure and bringing peace to most part of Borno state.
Our sons, especially our vice president, Alhaji Kashim Shatima, and our governor, and we know he did before and he will do more.
The relocation of the IDPs, the opening of roads of all the 27 local government, providing of health services and absolute security.
You know, for a leader to excel, everyone must be carried along. Everyone must participate.
Stakeholders in Borno are hopeful that Governor Babagana Umar Zulum will consolidate on the developmental projects, continued revitalization of agricultural sector, create more employment opportunities for the team youth in this state to take the state to the next level. From Rama Square in Maiduguri, Kaigama Mustafa, NTA News.
That's our contribution from here. It's back to you, Ifoma in Abuja, for more on Nationwide.
Thank you very much. And from Damaturu comes a report that Governor Mai Mala Buni of Yobe State has again been sworn in for the second term of 4 years after winning the keenly contested 18th March governorship election in the state. Yunusa Suleiman reports that the governor took the oath of office alongside his deputy in a ceremony held at the August 27th Stadium, Damaturu.
With that oath of allegiance taken by Governor Mai Mala Buni and his deputy Idi Berde Gubana, administered by Yobe State Chief Judge Justice Gumna Kashum Kegama, marks the beginning of their journey to second term of office. In his inaugural speech, Governor Buni told the gathering that his administration in the last 4 years had executed life-touching projects cutting across health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, empowerment and wealth creation, as well as security sectors, among others.
I extend hands of fellowship to all and sundry to join us in this task of building our dear state. It is a duty we must discharge with dignity and honor. We are first and foremost collective stakeholders dedicated to making Yobe state peaceful and prosperous irrespective of any difference.
Buni, who appreciated citizens of the state for entrusting him with another mandate of 4 years, assures them that the journey his administration embarks again will be rewarding, as it will operate on 3 core values of continuity, consolidation and innovation, which the state was built on.
In the years ahead, government will continue to sustain the tempo of the state of emergency on education. For the immediate future, we shall launch a mass enrollment drive with a view to eradicating the out-of-school children phenomenon.
It may interest you to know that Governor Memala Buni is the 4th democratically elected governor of Yobe State since its creation in 1991. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTN.
And guests on Good Morning Nigeria have called for the redefining of the nation's democracy to aggressively deliver dividends of democracy for the overall good of the people, irrespective of differences. The guests made the call as Nigeria commemorates 24 years of unbroken democracy, which ushers in a new president. Lydia Sampson reports.
That Nigeria's democracy is on the move is not in contestation. However, the journey guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe has been characterized by challenges mitigating the realization of the aspirations of the common good of Nigerians. These, they hope, can be turned around with the laws in place and properly implemented. They also called for greater inclusion of women and youth.
We are making tremendous progress as far as I'm concerned. Our electoral system is being gradually fine-tuned. Nigerians now can freely go to the polls and elect leaders at various, political level of representation. So I think the electoral system is being gradually refined, and and of course, you do not have democracy without an election that is free, fair, and credible.
We are happy that we are still at peace. What we hope for is a transformation of government behavior in such a manner that they will become more responsive, they will be more accountable to the people, and the representation will increasingly become meaningful.
The guest also reiterates the need to tackle the challenges of security and unemployment, which they say will go a long way in directly translating dividends of democracy to all Nigerians.
Until we're able to cascade the democracy dividends down to the local level, we cannot begin to sing about the progress that we have made, because all the progress we are seeing, there's no roots to it. We're just there floating at national level and at state level, and that is all about it.
The guests decried the situation in subnationals where democracy at the grassroots is based on appointments rather than elections. They emphasized this must change so that local government chairman begins to operate as representative of the people. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And that concludes Nationwide. We thank you for watching. And remember that my colleague Benny Adams will be in the studio at the top of the hour for the continuation of our special inauguration program. Do stay with the NTA. Bye for now.